The annual Harvest Festival is back this weekend only in Fort Fjorns. Come on down to the fairgrounds and take in all the incredible attractions at this 3-day event. Whether you're a dwarf, Goliath, or everything in between, there's something for everyone. Enjoy alchemy markets, a magic skills competition, archery, and a kids and halfling zone. There's even a beer gardens where both towns will unveil a new Unity drink to kick off the festival. And when the sun goes down, live music from the rock-wide battle of the band's champion, Divad Notaeb. I need a rattler. The Harvest Festival, this weekend in Fort Fjorns. For more details, smoke a joint that fell from the sky. Oh, nice.
Harvest Fest.
All right, welcome back to Dungeons, Dudes, and Dragons for episode 23. My name is David Ashball, your Dungeon Master, and as always, joined by our three fearless adventurers. We've got Sir Alex Kerrigan, Dorinius Wartinius, and Divad Notaeb. How are you boys doing today?
Oh, it's
groggy.
Yep. Oh, a little. I'm good though. I'm good. Life is good, man. When the weather is better, everyone's just in a great mood.
Isn't it nice when it's not raining for the 6 months in a row?
Oh, dearest Lord. Yeah, it's nice. Like, I stopped taking my vitamin D supplement because it's so sunny.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice here as well. David, how's the weather in Alberta right now?
This weekend's been pretty decent, around low 20s, so pretty much perfect temperature. Yeah.
That's actually impressive. Yeah.
You get that nice 3 weeks between winter and on fire that, Alberta is famous for.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll be sending you some smoke in a couple of months, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Once fire season kicks up here in British Columbia, we'll just send all that bullshit.
Yeah. The wind pushes it
to the face.
Yeah, everybody's complaining about how smoky it is, and there's 400 fires burning in the province, and I'm outside, clear sky, just like, the winds are really treating us nice.
Living in the middle of the ocean has its benefits.
It really does.
But anyways, we were just chatting about, the fact that we were a little unsure of how the previous episode ended because it has been about 3 weeks since we recorded, but I did go through and listen to snippets of it today in preparation for this episode. So just a quick recap. You guys were basically on your way to the airplane to distribute the joints and such over the town. And when you got to the airplane, you had, an uninvited visitor with metal arms who I believe Darren ended up pinning him down with the bullet. David cast heat metal on his metal arms, which caused him to, drop his metal arms. And then he kind of bit down on a cyanide pill, which killed him and dissolved his tongue. But Darren cast Animate Dead on him, and then there was a very entertaining interrogation scene between the three of you and an undead man who couldn't talk. And so it was basically yes and no questions with grunting for yes and no. You guys actually got some decent information out of him. You found a little scroll that seems to highlight some entrances on what appears to be a city contained within a mountain. And then, of course, you guys took off into the sky, I believe not before strapping that poor reanimated man to the tail of the airplane, and then distributed some joints and flyers. You landed, and then, of course, you made your way up to the dam site where you tried to build the dam, but after, I believe, 3 failed strength checks, Tim the Tall Man Taylor came out of nowhere, gave you a hand, and then, of course, Scary the Goose made an appearance, was chased away, and then I believe that is where we left off with you guys basically just heading back into town as the Harvest Festival was kicking off the evening before the official start of the Harvest Festival. But, of course, before we get to the campaign, we've got to do some dude dialogue. And, of course, continuing the theme of asking questions about your in-game characters, what do you think is the biggest change that has happened to your in-game character compared to your, real-life personality?
Well, my character, Sir Alex, has recently developed an acute allergy to limes.
to go with your celiac disease, just add it to the list.
Oh God, yeah. What can he eat? Freaking rice and nothing else. I really feel like in the last couple of episodes, especially, I've kind of calmed down. Like initially I was, for lack of a better term, I was a shit disturber. I was just, shooting kids and just like, let's cut the head off of it. Let's push the envelope here. And my guy's gotten a little bit more passive, I think, because he's just realizing that trying to gum through and shoot at everything that moves might not be the best approach. So my guy's kind of just learning to control his temper.
It's been just maybe a couple months, and Alex has already gone through a full villain redemption arc. Divad, David, what do you think your character, the biggest difference between your character and your real-life personality has become?
I think the fact that I would be willing to attempt to fly an airplane would just not happen in real life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nope. that's
that whole crashing and dying thing usually is a turnoff.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I was listening to episode 21 today when at the end, Fred gives you guys permission to fly the airplane, and David, you were quick on the trigger with calling dibs.
Yep.
Gotta do it.
Yep. And then, Darren, what do you think?
Probably two things. Opposite of Alex, I've become more of a shit disturber, and
so someone had
really
to pick up the slack on that.
Yeah, really lean into just the. I would still say chaotic neutral, not as much evil, but definitely there's some chaos in the decisions that Dorinius makes, which would be on par with like drunk Darren when I did drink, probably of similar cloth, but not as much anymore. And then probably the other big difference between real life Darren and game Darren is I have wings in the game. Pretty big.
Yeah, that'd be a game changer.
Yeah, well, I keep forgetting that they're there, but...
Yeah, when you were running away from the goose in episode 21 and it finally clicked, you're like, I can fucking fly.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about those very important little pieces of extra body.
It's crazy what panic does to the memory.
Right? It's crazy what a goose the size of an emu will do to a guy.
Well, yeah, I was listening to that episode again and I'm kicking myself for not having the goose also fly and chase after you in the air.
Yeah, that's... almost more embarrassing that you forgot a bird can fly.
That is true.
Considering that's the majority of what they do during the fall and the spring.
All right, well, egg on David's face, so thanks for that.
Yeah, eat shit, Dave.
Fuck you, God. All right, so like I had mentioned, you guys were making your way back into town after attempting... Faces past, send them homebound.
Oh, on the pop culture references.
Anyways, as you walk into town, you can see that the festivities are indeed starting. Although the Harvest Festival doesn't officially kick off until tomorrow, obviously people have, holidays. They're getting off work. They're getting into the festive spirit. You can see people coming out, and you can see that there's a lot of people around milling about. The atmosphere is lively. There's a positive energy in the air, and of course, as you walk into town, you also see that the river is starting to reduce in water, and as it runs dry, you can see that now the townspeople are starting to go back and forth. They can finally cross the river. They're mixing and mingling, and it looks like everything's in kind of a positive, happy mood for the moment.
Well, let's ruin it, boys.
Let's have some piss poor rules.
Oh, I want to magic missile someone.
Yeah, who's an innocent bystander here that I can decapitate at some point?
We're the children of that man we killed and then smoked the picture of his family.
I slowly load my gun for no reason.
Yeah. I'm going to one in the chamber just in case.
Let's kick it off, boys, with a perception check.
Ooh, okay.
Perceive the world around me. No, I don't.
Perceive a bit. 15.
17.
6.
Ooh.
So too busy loading that gun.
Yeah.
Not seeing much.
Alex currently looking straight down the barrel of his gun as he cleans it.
The front of it.
And Darren and David, you do happen to hear that among what seems to be a festive atmosphere, you hear what sounds to be the beginnings of an argument, a bit of a squabble. You hear people yelling about money, this, you should give me that. and it's coming just about 20 feet in front of you as a crowd is starting to gather around what appears to be two gentlemen having an argument.
Oh, I'm a man who loves a big cup of tea, so I am going to listen intently to what's going on over there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was thinking, like, this is no different than real life, just hanging outside a bar somewhere and someone else gets into a fight, and you're just like, well, I'm not going in yet, I guess.
Divad and I both noticed at the same time that, like, there's some really interesting shit happening in that conversation, and we just kind of, like, lock eyes and do, like, the little head tilt over towards them, and I'm just, like, nodding, like, yeah, let's have a listen.
So you guys kind of get in, you push your way through the crowd, and it's two gentlemen. One appears to be a Graf, the other the Warts, and they're both yelling at each other, saying, "You owe me money for last year's sale! No, you owe me money for last year's sale!" And the crowd seems to be kind of getting a little bit of a chaotic energy about them, and it seems like what is happening might have some effect on the larger area, and this could turn negative or potentially violent quickly.
Am I starting?
Table talk question
Yes.
for God and everybody before we get into this. Has the Unity beer been brewed yet? Do we have access to any of it?
Not at the moment, no.
Damn it. Okay. Sir Alex, whatever you're going to do.
I just wanted to make sure that with a perception check, I can also kind of perceive what's going on and follow them with, because I've got something that I want to do here.
Yeah, luckily you, didn't shoot yourself in the face while cleaning your gun, and you just kind of stumbled over following Dorinius and Divad, and yes, everybody's kind of, all three of you are, like, kind of on the inner ring of the, I guess it would be kind of like a fight circle, but there has been no blows thrown yet.
I'm going to stand behind Dorinius and Divad, and I'm going to slowly go, fight, 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 fight.
Fight. I'm with you. Fight. Yeah,
I'm going to try and egg the crowd into keeping the chant going.
Okay,
I'm going to do a little diddly on my guitar to make it a little more epic in the background.
Play the John Mayer fight riff.
All right, Alex, make me a persuasion, and David, make me a performance.
Oh my god!
Did you get a nat 20?
I got a
No.
9, but it was so close to being a 1, but it rolled over to 19.
So
it was like
19
an
on the
average 16.
persuasion, and then David with the 16 on the performance. So David, you're doing some chugs on the lute. Alex, you're chanting fight, 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 and the crowd seems to be going along with it, chanting fight, fight, fight. And one of the guys pulls a very large dagger out from behind his belt.
Okay,
and as soon as he does that, does anybody want to do anything?
The whole reason I wanted to egg this fight on is because I wanted a big show for us to kind of stop it. So if he is going to pull his dagger out, I think that's our moment to intervene and try to actually keep the peace.
All right, so as he pulls the dagger out, he basically advances quickly on this guy he was arguing with, and I'll give each of you one turn to try and stop what's about to happen.
Does anybody else want to take the lead on this one first?
I kind of want to just heat metal his dagger so it drops out of his hand and then be like, no weapons, use your fists.
Fight like men.
I like that. So, David, you cast Heat Metal, and I believe he's got to succeed on is it a 15 dexterity?
Let's see here. Where is it? It is... No, just any creature in physical contact with it takes 2d8 fire damage when I cast the spell. Until the spell ends, I can take a bonus action, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it doesn't say if there's any...
Well, he is going to take 5 points of damage, and so he immediately drops the red-hot dagger, and he looks around in the crowd and says, "Who did that?"
I step forward, do a little windmill with my hair while I'm still chugging. I'm just like, open this pin up.
And everybody just kind of like looks at you in confusion as you're windmilling your hair, and it seems to have somewhat diffused the situation because nobody really understands what you're asking of them.
Nobody would know what was happening in that situation.
And now there's just like quiet
pioneer.
murmurs in the crowd, and just like everyone has gone dead silent.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Everybody, quiet down. And I take my gun and shoot it into the air.
This Unity concert's off to a great start.
All right, so Alex, you fire your gun into the air, and everybody just kind of like scrambles. They run away, and all of a sudden, Friar Farnsworth comes waddling around. And says, "What are you gentlemen doing? What is happening?"
We're trying to defuse the situation. Calm down. Calm down.
With a gun?
We have it under control.
Well, it doesn't appear so, but it doesn't seem anybody got too hurt. So, well, gentlemen, you were supposed to be the chosen ones. You should act like it.
I mean, we've got a complete handle on this situation. We're doing quite fine here. We're doing quite fine.
How are we the ones in trouble? One man was going to stab another. We stopped.
We've been doing exactly what we've been doing this whole game.
Shot a bird.
Yeah. Suddenly, it's not good enough.
Well, okay, sorry. I'm just a little bit stressed out. The festival is kicking off. And, well, I'm glad I ran into you, gentlemen, because, well, we have to unveil the Unity beer. And we thought it would be good to do that this evening from the stage so that people can start enjoying it before the festival officially kicks off tomorrow. So please follow me over to the stage.
And he starts walking off in direction of where you can see the stage is set up, and it seems like there is a small pedestal with like a blanket covering it, and both Wysella Warts and Jonathan Graff are standing on the stage as well. Warts and Jonathan Graff. I feel like we just missed a very important skill check with those two guys there.
I don't know. I feel like he couldn't have gone better.
Yeah.
Should we have just killed them?
But no. Let's
circle back.
We'll come back to that. Okay, so we're on the stage. Wysella, Jonathan Graff,
And, okay, so you guys walk up onto the stage. You follow Friar Farnsworth? Perfect. So you follow him up onto the stage, and Wysella Warts looks at you, and she's like,
Yes, gentlemen, thank you very much. We would like you to do the honors of presenting this new Unity beer.
and she kind of, like, ushers you to the front of the stage, and basically it seems like you guys now have the reins to tell the crowd what you would like to tell them, and they start kind of gathering in front of the stage, seeing that something's about to happen.
Oh, okay. Table talk. I propose, David, you offer the soundtrack. Like, you come out first, and you lead it with some excellent music, and I say, Sir Alex and I, we almost embody some youth pastor energy in the way that we come out on the stage and try and sell the beer, like running out, jogging, and trying to act cool and be like, how's everyone doing?
Oh, Christian metal.
Yeah, Christian mingle. Wait a minute, play me a little Under Oath.
I know. I only got them tattooed on my body. I'm just kidding.
how's everybody feeling today?
I'm running on the spot, clapping over my head, like, yeah, let's get moving, guys.
All right, so let me get this straight. David is going to lay down some, like, background music. David, are you going to be on stage or, like, out of visual range, just providing some unseen music?
Oh, no. I was born to be on stage.
All right.
Yeah, if anything, he's in front of us.
Perfect. And then Durinius and Sir Alex are going to come bounding out, headsets on and everything with a...
just ShamWow full on.
We're, like, running in place. Yeah. I'm going to do a little thaumaturgy in the background, too, to put some flames and lights.
Yeah.
All right.
Very nice, yes.
I like it. Well, then, let's kick it off with a performance check from David.
I'm going to pull out my sweet pick
baby.
as well.
Nice.
And, yeah, that adds a D6 to my performance. So I got a 19, and then with a D6 on top of it, 24.
Damn, the 5 on the D6. So with the 24 performance, yeah, David, tell us what kind of music you're laying down. Like something a little soft, or are you going straight hard right off the bat?
No, it's going to mellow down to, like Darren said earlier, Under Oath kind of style. It's some Christian metal.
Mellow down to Under Oath.
Well, I mean, it is, compared to everything else my guys have been playing this game.
Yeah, fair.
So can you
just kind of like some pop punky kind of somewhat chunky riffs.
And then David and...
The lights dim, and that's how it starts. Can you feel my heart be racing?
Okay, and then before we make performance checks for Darren and Alex, I want you guys to go out and introduce this beer, and then depending on how good your improv is, that'll determine whether or not you get advantage on the performance.
Table talk again. Is it just called the Unity beer? Do we have a name for it?
There hasn't been a name proposed yet, no.
Yeah, we should probably quickly come up with something.
I mean,
to call it.
The Unity beer I think is pretty nice. It's catchy. It's short. It's singing. It gets the people excited.
It gets the people going.
Yeah, it's provocative.
Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Yeah.
We come up to one song and one song only.
So let's see. It's between the warts and the grass. Yep. Unity beer's fine by me.
Let's call it the Groats Unity beer.
The Groats Unity beer. Okay.
Yeah. Mix Groff and warts.
Groat.
This is not the most appealing name ever, but trust me on this, boys. Yeah. The
We're just
Groats.
spitballing here. It doesn't need to be Groats. Something else.
Yeah.
All right, throat groat
Actually,
it is.
there's no beer in here. Let's just call it a Coors Light. None of that exists. You just steal a name. Michelob Ultra. You know what I mean? You can do whatever we want.
Bro, there
It's
goes
Dos Equis.
there goes our Coors Light sponsorship.
Oh, shit.
So what would you guys like to call the beer?
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Tried and true.
Pabst. We should just call it Pabst. Pabst Unity beer.
I wrote down Groats Unity beer here. Okay, let's go with Pabst.
Or Pabst Unity Smear.
Pabst Unity Smear.
Ew. All right. Set in stone.
So it exists now in this world.
So what are you calling it?
We're just going Pabst Blue Ribbon.
All right, perfect. But why is it called Blue Ribbon? Are you wrapping like a blue ribbon around it, or is it just...
Nobody knows.
No, yeah, exactly. It's one of those mysteries, you know? Is the Sasquatch real? Who shot Kennedy? John Travolta? You don't know.
just John Travolta, one of the greatest mysteries.
An enigma, man.
All right, well, David, you have laid down a pretty decent performance for a musical underlay to Dorinius and Sir Alex bounding out on stage. So now, gentlemen, the stage is yours.
Have we got
I'll let you lead the charge, Sir Alex.
Have we got an exciting new product for you? Now, we're very aware of this town's vast and deep history and the fracture right down the middle of it, and we are here to mend that fracture. And how are we going to do that? By getting everyone extremely, extremely drunk. And not just drunk, because this brand new product is going to combine the best of both worlds. That's right, this brand new beer has been crafted with the exquisite herbs of the... It's the wart side who has the weed, right? From the wart side.
Put your hand over the mic. Looking back.
Yeah. Just lean off stage. What? What?
That was the warts is right. Okay, cool.
We're the wart side of the family, and we are combining it into a great ale. And that brand new product behind me here with Dorinius, with an example of it, is Pabst Blue Ribbon.
And then I walk out onto the stage, and I'm just like, boy, Alex, I sure am parched right now. I've been working out in the Groff fields all afternoon, working up a sweat, and all I can think to myself is, sure, I'd like to get drunk, but boy, wouldn't it be better if I could be drunk and high at the same
You
time?
really want to get loaded, don't you?
I do, Sir Alex, and if only there were a product that existed that would allow me to live both of my favorite unsober dreams at the same time. And then I snap my finger, and a Pabst Blue Ribbon appears in my hand, almost like magic.
No, I combat roll to you real stealthy and put it in your hand. You roll back out of the way.
It's one of those, like a fake smoke bomb goes off, and you just see Divad come in and do it.
Not missing a single chord as he does.
Just gently placing it.
Whoa, what's this? And I use my mage hand with my other hand to pop it open. And I go, Pabst Blue Ribbon? Wow, 6%, but also 40% THC. Interesting.
Jesus.
I wonder how it tastes. And I take a big swig. I come back and go, whoa, like magic. And then David, some thaumaturgy metal to really hit that point home.
Yep, some lights and some smoke and fire behind you, just kind of igniting behind you while you drink this beer.
Oh, man, that's so good. I'm so drunk and high, I could almost fly. And my wings come out, and I fly up into the air for a second while I'm drinking it.
Let it
Pabst
be
Blue
known.
Ribbon gives
And then
you
come back
wings.
down on it.
Pabst Blue Ribbon gives you wings.
Pabst Blue Ribbon doesn't actually give you rings, and do not jump off of any high surfaces while drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Symptoms may include nausea, extra limbs, children born with the head of a golden retriever.
Racism?
Having an awesome time, waking up next to somebody you thought was hotter.
Well, gentlemen, I must say that I was grinning like a fool that whole time you guys were doing that. That was fantastic. So, let's have both Alex and Darren. You can roll me a performance check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. So with 16.
I got a 16 as well.
You both rolled a 16 to start.
16.
8. Yeah, it'll be 16. Yeah.
So, yeah, you
rolled 16.
both rolled 16 on your performance. So the crowd is really buying it. They seem to be like, you get some oohs and ahs. And then as soon as you're chugging the beer down, Darren, with flames going off behind you, David doing a sick riff, Alex dancing around on stage like a youth pastor, Wysella and Jonathan come out from behind the curtain and unveil a huge pile of pre-bottled beer, as well as a massive cask of the Unity Ale with a tap coming out of it and mugs all placed around it, and everyone screams in joy and rushes onto the stage and grabs their Unity beers and starts the evening off on the right foot. So well done, gentlemen.
Cue up Cool and the gang. Celebrate good times. Come on. Come on. Gonna celebrate good times.
I run up to the microphone and tell them once again to open this pit up.
And once again, they all...
Still, nobody knows what that means.
And still, yes, they
One
all
day.
stop for about half a second, look at you, and just are like, okay, and then turn back and keep partying.
Monty Python hard cuts to two guys in a, like off the camera trying to dig a pit. Be like, we're trying.
All right, well, gentlemen, you can spend the evening enjoying the revelries of the festivities, and if you would like, you can take a long rest now and sleep away the evening before the Unity Fest really kicks off tomorrow, or is there anything else you would like to do before the evening wraps up?
So this is just kind of a pre-party?
Yeah, exactly.
Pre-gaming right now?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, can we go find those guys that were arguing?
Yeah, I guess if you want to. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation. Oh, I hope this works.
We gonna get them to fight?
Oh, 19.
Yes.
8.
So
19.
as you're wandering through the crowd of merrymakers and celebrators, you do see the two gentlemen who were previously arguing seem to be having a conversation with beers in their hands.
Okay, I'm going to grab myself a pint of this Unity Ale, the Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I'm just going to walk over and be like, Gentlemen, you were the two who were having the argument earlier. Am I correct?
Well, yeah, you would be. Why? What's up? Hi.
It was quite interesting that made a little bit of a scene there, and to be fair, we made a scene as well. I just wanted to get to the bottom of whatever was going on between you two.
Well, one of us owed the other one money. Nobody really remembers who owed who. It's gone on for so long, and, well, just kind of came to a head, boiled over. And then he looks behind you, Alex, and sees David standing there. He's like, and then that guy stepped up and made it weird.
It's only weird because you let it be weird.
Well, I mean, we are in the nature of trying to keep the peace here. How much is the settlement worth?
Well, we don't really know. We just we just kind of agreed to put it behind us.
Oh, okay. I was about to offer you both a bit of gold, but since you're well behind it now, I guess I don't need to do that anymore.
And the other guy pipes up. He's like, well, how much gold?
Well, would 20 gold be enough to fully put this behind you?
25.
I shrug and go, deal. And I give them both 25 gold.
You give them both 25 gold?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of how that works, right?
All right, perfect. Well, you can take 50 gold out of your inventory then, Mr. Alex.
What is 733 minus 50?
Still too
Great
much.
question.
83?
Yeah.
683.
Perfect. Anyways, Darren, what were you saying?
Right after that happens, I, from the sky, land with 2 Unity beers, and you say, another united friendship! And I hand them both a Pabst Blue Ribbon and look at the non-existent camera and wink, and then fly away.
Yes.
Okay, Darren, I want you to make me a persuasion check, please.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 19, boy.
All right, perfect.
They are persuaded.
We
They are indeed.
We're mending fences, boys.
You are indeed, yes. All right.
Alcohol and weed, bringing people together.
Just like the dawn of time.
Yeah, since the very first barley fields were tilled.
Anything else you gentlemen would like to do before bedding down for the evening?
I'm going to chug this Unity beer that I have because I haven't really done too much with it, so I'm just going to slam that motherfucker back.
Hold on. I'm going to run to the stage, also grab a beer, and then I run back because I'm going to join you.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then just you see the camera kind of from above all three of you zoom out as we fast forward through the evening. Everyone is flying around, having fun, and the sun goes down and the town goes quiet. The sun comes back up, and you three find yourselves in your beds, waking up to the beautiful sound of birds chirping.
Was that a long rest, you would say?
Was a long rest, absolutely.
Oh, long rest.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so just to let you guys know some meta here, Darren, the reason I asked you to roll me a persuasion check when you did that is because I have a little mechanic here that you guys are going to have to walk around and convince the townsfolk that they should unify the town. And you guys currently have 2 in the win column for that, because you've succeeded on your first 2 persuasions.
Nice.
And yes, so you guys can walk around town as you come out of the inn. There are lots of people already out and about, and you see that there are lots of things to do. In fact, Alex especially notices, my goodness, there's a shooting gallery.
With a kid's playground right beside it.
Goodness.
And not only that, there's a baby animal petting zoo right beside it.
I'm so...
I thought you were going to say there's a baby right beside
And then you see there's also... sorry, what were you saying, Alex?
I've died and gone to heaven.
And then you also see that they have set up, it's a smoke ring contest. So it's basically like people are creative with the smoke rings they exhale. There's a beer chugging competition. There is a strong hammer swing. Pony rides for kids. Like I said, a baby animal petting zoo filled with ducks, some flapjacks, geese, puppies, kittens. And like I said, there are locals everywhere, and you can just mill about, chat with them, convince them that bringing the 2 towns together is a good thing, or try out some of the activities. So what would you gentlemen like to do?
Shooting gallery.
How is that a question? David, what were
I'm
you
going to
going to
grab
say?
a beer. I'm going to grab a beer, and then I want to go ride a pony.
Nice. All right. And Darren, anything you want to do?
I'm going to follow Sir Ags to the shooting gallery because I expect some things to go horrifically wrong.
Wonderful. So we will go for David first. You grab yourself a beer, and then you wander over to the pony rides. And standing there with operating the ride is basically a large bird. And he looks at you and, well, gentlemen, what should he sound like?
Kermit the Frog.
Oh, fuck off.
Hey-oh, this is Kermit the Frog here.
This is Kermit the Frog. This is awful.
Yeah.
No, pick another voice.
Fozzie Bear. Fozzie Bear.
Wait,
Fozzie
no,
Bear.
you didn't let us in episode
Fozzie
20.
Bear.
Yeah, you eat this shit sandwich.
And so this giant bird looks at you and he says, "Oh, this is just for kids."
Where does it say that? I don't see any rules.
And he points at a sign that says, "You must be this tall," and it says, like, kind of indicates shorter to ride the ride.
I crouch down.
Perfect. Yeah, I am going to cast, where is it? Enlarge Reduce on David to make him the size of a child.
What? Can you read that to us, Darren?
I'd love to. Reduce a target size is halved in all dimensions, and its weight is reduced to 1/8
all
of normal.
dimensions.
Yeah, your dick stays the same. Don't worry. I'll make sure I keep that amendment. And its weight is reduced by 1/8 of normal. The reduction decreases the size of one category from medium to small. For example, until the spell ends, the target also has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Target's weapons also shrink to match its new size. The weapons are reduced to target's attacks, deal 1d4 less damage.
Cool. Well, then I will let you do that, but David now has to talk in a voice that indicates he's much smaller than he usually is.
Am I small right now?
Yes,
Did it happen?
yeah,
Any
Darren
rules
wants
or
to
anything?
cast that, and then the
You want to get small, man?
and then the bird looks at you. He's like, "Okay."
So can I ride the horse now?
Yes, and he like pulls up a little pony and like picks up tiny little David and puts you on the pony, gives it a smack on the butt, and it takes off a little bit faster than expected, David. So I want you to make me a dexterity check.
Ooh, not great. That's a 4.
Oh, no.
Not great at all.
Oh, yes. And so, David, as the horse takes off, you're not really ready for the acceleration, and you've got your feet in the stirrups, but the acceleration kind of kicks one of your feet out, and you kind of fall off, or half fall off the horse with one of your feet still in the stirrups, and now the horse is running around with you kind of hanging off the side of it.
Somebody help me.
Darren?
If he's a little tiny man now, he probably weighs around enough that my mage hand could just scoop that little devil boy up and put him back on the horse.
Well, no, Mage Hand can only pick up 10 pounds.
Well, how much does
What's it?
what did he get? An eighth the size?
Well, he said it.
What does that little guy weigh?
Well, he said it, or it said it cuts him in half, right? Basically.
What if you grabbed
Oh, yeah, I
him
guess
by
he
his?
didn't weigh 20
What if you
pounds.
grabbed him by his still enlarged penis?
There we go.
Well, not still a large, just average.
It looks a lot. It looks a lot
large when I'm
bigger
done
by
with it.
comparison right now.
I cast enlarge on his penis.
Hey, I prop myself up back on the
Hold
horse.
on. He's getting dragged around by his horse. What do? I make his dick bigger.
Make his dick bigger, so he
That's
feels less
friendship.
self-conscious.
I know that fix this.
The horse.
Don't worry, I got it under
The
control.
horse looks back and it's just like, nice cock, bro.
Yeah, almost as big
Coming
as
from a
mine.
horse, that's a huge compliment.
And so David,
So
the horse
stupid.
runs around its little ring a couple times with you still attached, and kind of finally trots back to the entrance, and you fall off this horse a little bit dizzy, a little bit dazed, and still, tiny.
How long does this last?
Yeah, how long does it last, Aaron?
About 4 hours.
11 minutes. If you're made small for more than 4 hours, please call your doctor.
11 minutes? That's oddly specific.
Right?
All right, well, David, for the next 11 minutes, you get to walk around as a tiny little version of yourself. Maybe get like a
All right.
ice cream cone or something to fill out the look.
So, what little kids' activities were right beside the shooting range?
There's like a baby
petting zoo?
animal petting zoo, yes. But before we do
Oh.
that, we are going to go to the shooting gallery with Alex, and then Darren also wanders over there to see the shenanigans that are bound to take place. So, Alex, you walk up to the shooting gallery, and the guy, well, you recognize him. It's the same guy from Rockwhite. It's a tired, depressed-looking teenager. He's like, okay, oh, God, it's you.
Hello. Fancy seeing you here. Do you run a racket of shooting galleries of some kind?
No, I just set up randomly in random places and festivals pop up around me. No, of course I run this place. Are you going to shoot?
What an odd gift for festivals popping up. Anyway,
That's kind of
I
a
feel
dick.
that, yes, well, I'd like to try out your shooting gallery, my friend.
All right, well, it's pretty similar rules. Well, as you can see, there's multiple targets here rather than just the one. And Alex, you see that it's kind of set up like kind of distance accuracy shooting. So you've got targets that are close that are worth less points, and then targets that are far away that are worth more points. And he's like, so the close ones are worth 1 point, the mid-range ones are worth 3 points, and the real far ones are worth 5 points. And so, Alex, you will pick which ones you want to shoot, and we go with advantage for the closest ones, regular roll for the mid-range ones, and disadvantaged for the far ones. And he looks at you, he's like, do you want to use your gun?
Do I want to use my gun? Yes, I do want to use my gun. Okay, so we have close target, medium, mid, and far. It is with advantage for the short ones. What's my scoring system here?
Well, the close ones are 1 point, the medium ones are 3 points, and the far ones are 5 points.
No, I mean like how many points do I need to get to do a thing?
It doesn't really say.
Can I ask him?
Well, of course.
I don't seem to see any types of prizes or anything that these points are doing. Can I ask, is there a scoring system? Do I have to get to a certain point here?
Well, we don't really have any prizes. We've been told to hand out these Unity beers, and he produces like a couple bottles, and he's like, basically for every 5 points you score, you get 1 bottle of beer.
For every 5 points, a bottle of beer. Okay. All right then. If those are the rules of the game, then I believe I shall play your game.
All right, Alex, I would like you to which target would you like to shoot at?
Let's start with the mid target, just to get us, warmed up here. And
Perfect.
Yeah, just shoot the mid. Let's take
Roll me a regular attack roll, please.
one attack roll.
And a 24 to hit. Jesus Christ, that musket is insane.
In need of a new paint job.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Thank you, David. But yes, so you absolutely bullseye the mid-range target, and he's like, wow, good job. 3 points for this guy. Are you gonna take another shot, or?
Can I take 2 shots at the far targets?
Sure.
Okay, so that's a disadvantage. So let's start with number 1. So there's a 14. And that'll be a 26.
Jesus.
So we'll take the 14 at disadvantage. So you take the shot, and it just nicks the outer rim of the far target. And he's like, all right, well, not that great of a shot, but technically you hit it, so that's 5 points. So now you've got 8 points. Are you going to take another shot?
I'll take another one. I think I can do a little better on that far target. Let's see here. All right, so here we go. Oh, shit. All right, so that's a 12. Yes, yeah. And there's an 18, but it's, 12.
And so you take the shot with the 12. It misses the target completely, and you just hear it kind of like ting, ring off something metal in the distance. And he's like, 8 points still, so you can have 1 bottle of beer, or are you going to take another shot? You get 1 more before I'm going to start charging you.
Oh, boy. This is my last free shot here. Now, you said there was a petting zoo around the area.
It's like right next to the shooting gallery.
Yes. I stare longingly at the petting zoo.
Darren, is there anything you would like to do?
I'm just sitting back, Jack Nicholson nodding, hoping that we get to see some flashes of old Alex here. Cause a bit of a ruckus.
So I stare. Okay, so let's make this fun. I'm going to shoot at the target, at the far target, but I'm going to do it like I'm going to hold my gun sideways. I'm going to deliberately look away from the target. I'm going to have one hand tied behind my back, like I'm showing off is what I'm trying to do. But I am going to try my hardest to shoot the far target.
All right. Well, double disadvantage technically isn't a thing in D&D, but it's going to be today.
Okay, so
so I want you to roll me 3 attacks, and you'll take the worst of the 3.
Okay, 3 attacks
for
worst of
a
3.
No-look, one-handed shot at the farthest target.
Here we go. You got
In my little kid voice in the background, I yell out, "You can do it!" And I inspire you.
And an extra, is that a D6 or a D8, David?
It is D8.
Perfect. All right, so let's start with 3 rolls, Alex.
Okay. Are we ready? There's 1. That's a 20. It's important to mention, too.
Yeah.
It's important to, it's plus 9 here, so I actually rolled an 11, but yeah.
Crazy.
There's that. Oh, okay, that'll be it. It's a 7 plus 9, so 16. And 13, so 22. So yeah, 16 is it, I think.
Use the inspiration on your low roll.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. Roll me a D8, Alex.
1d8. Sorry, give me a quick second here. The D8 gives me a 5.
So that's a total of 21 for triple disadvantage for Alex. Wonderful. Love it.
One hand.
Love everything about it.
I know this is an audio podcast, but my arms are straight up in the sky right now. I am smiling so fucking hard. Oh my god, yes. Life is good.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, so a no-look, hand behind the back, one-handed shot from Alex just bullseyes this target. And the guy's like, wow, man, that was actually pretty impressive. And he hands you 2 bottles of beer that you can put in your bag or whatnot.
What I'm gonna do is, you guys watch wrestling, right? You know the Stone Cold Steve Austin? Yeah. Crack them both, pop them together, chug them both at the same time, and throw them behind me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
And so as you do that, Darren A lovely old lady kind of scoots up to you and pokes you with her cane, and she's like,
It's you three that want to unite the towns, yes?
this is good.
Have found the right adventurers. Yes, so I just pat Alex on the shoulder because he's probably feeling it right now. Like, don't worry, friend, I got this.
What's this wrong? And she looks at you, Darren, and she said,
It's said that a great evil will be unleashed should the families unite. I don't think we should take that chance.
I think we should absolutely do it now.
Yeah, absolutely. How do I read into whether or not I should believe what she's saying?
Insight, yeah.
I'm going to do an insight check on this bitch. That's a 6. I'm not going to be able to deduce nothing.
Yeah, you don't really know what the hell she's talking about. She just seems like a blabbering old lady.
Lady, a great evil, you say? You care to elaborate?
You're a fucking downer. Alex, she looks at you just with disgust in her eyes and walks away.
She left. Is Friar Farnsworth anywhere?
Yeah, you see him kind of mixing and mingling in the crowd, absolutely.
Gonna walk up to old Double F and be like, friend, there's a quite colorful old woman over here talking about something about a great evil if these two towns were to unite in some way.
Oh, yes, there's a lot of superstitious nonsense that goes around, and, the older generation are a little impervious to change, and, they'll tell you anything to keep the towns from unifying, but I don't think we have to worry. It's, just a bit of nonsense from the older generation that are stuck in their ways.
You have amazing
Turn and look at the camera
eyes.
and go, boomers.
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 But yes, and then Friar Farnsworth says to you, he's like,
But you guys should, you should try and convince them either way, so make sure if you're talking to the townsfolk that you're telling them good things about unification.
Okay, we will keep that in mind. Thank you, sir. And I walk back over to drunken Alex and hand him another Unity beer.
Yeah. And I crack it, and I drink it a little bit more slowly this time.
Alex, make me a Constitution check, please.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Constitution. Where is Constitution? I think it's here. 8.
Yeah, you just absolutely vomit everywhere.
When Alex... While Alex is violently retching, I'd like to have a request from you, God, another Claire de Lune moment where I'm just looking around at Sir Alex throwing up all of his dinner onto the floor, and there's like people kind of pushing each other around. There's a dance floor going where like one person's tit pops out, and just all these people getting wasted around, and just me standing there with a glass of water, just remembering when I used to be a part of that.
And as you do that, Darren, an old man walks up to you, and he's like, why do you want to unify the towns?
Because unity is a good thing, my friend.
Yeah, well, 17 years ago, a Graff feller, during the Harvest Festival, he kicked my dog.
Well, was your dog being a piece of shit?
Somebody buy that man a new dog.
No, he was being friendly.
Well, some people aren't, happy to an off-the-leash animal running up. You don't know what kind of predispositions someone maybe had a bad experience when they were a young child, and even the happiest golden retriever trotting up to say hello could unlock some type of trauma inside of said person. So don't just think that everything revolves around your little tiny biosphere. Everybody's living their own life, sir.
Darren, roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? What the fuck? Well, it's probably going to be that 5. Yeah, definitely going to be that 5.
All right, well, it's 2 in the loss column, 2 in the win column, gentlemen.
When that old man's walking away after not believing me, I quickly use my mage hand to trip him.
Darren! And he just kind of like stumbles and like looks around, confused as to what just happened. He's like,
I'm just looking up at the sky.
Wait. We have a dog. His name is Chester.
That's not a dog, friend. That's not a dog. That is a magical gas. But he is a good boy.
I miss my...
He is the best boy.
I miss my dog.
And then...
No, your dog misses you too, buddy.
David, 3 younger-looking guys come up to you, and he's like, bro, you can't unite the towns, okay? It's tradition to hold a party after the Harvest Festival to celebrate how much better we are than the other family, and we've already got these T-shirts printed, and they hold up T-shirts saying Groffs suck on them, and he's like, so you can't unify the towns.
Am I still a little kid?
Yes.
And they're saying this to me?
Yes.
I am going to ask them if I can have one of their shirts. Can I have one of your shirts?
Roll me a persuasion check.
The 25.
Oh, damn. So, yeah, they, like, hand you one of their T-shirts.
I put it on.
Around a fuck Carney shirt now.
Sorry?
I put it on.
Yeah.
David's walking around a fuck Carney shirt.
I put it on. And I turn around and look at Darren. And I'm like, what do you think of my shirt?
I'm going to cast Enlarge back on David so he returns to his regular size. And now that shirt that fit a child perfectly is now stretched on his body so his tummy's hanging out and it just looks way too small.
Perfect.
I'm going to keep rocking
I
it.
like your crop top. Alex.
Yeah, I had to rip it up. It's more metal this way.
Nice. All right. Well, you know what? I think I like that. So what else would you gentlemen like to do?
How many persuasions do we need and do we have?
You got 3 wins, 2 losses, and, well, it basically will come down to how many you have once you start the performance tonight.
I'm going to just cruise the crowd and look for anybody who doesn't look too sold on either the beer or what's going on and see if we can turn a few more to our side.
All right, well, you see...
Can I, at the same...
Before I do that, I hand Alex another beer.
And while this is going on, can I go investigate the petting zoo?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we will start with one interaction with Darren. Darren, you see what looks to be a curmudgeonly old cat lady sitting on a rock, kind of looking as if she's judging all these party-goers.
My lady, what seems to be keeping you in a gruff?
Well, there's talk about reuniting the towns, and, well, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not a big fan of that idea.
Why not?
Well, the mixing of the towns, in my opinion, will reduce the quality of both the weed and the ale. Both sides of the town were so good, and if you start to mix them, I feel like the quality of both will be reduced.
I want to...
Oh, no, the diversity of mixtures would be terrific, my lady.
Can I jump in? Am I around here?
You're always around, Alex.
So, like, I'm kind of, like, hanging off Darren because I'm a little drunk right now. And I have not opened my beer yet. That's important. I mean, be like, but when the town unites, you get things like this.
And I hand her my beer. And she pops the cork out of it, gives it, like, a nice long inhale, and she's like, oh, that does smell quite lovely. And she gives it a sip, and is like, that's quite fantastic. I hadn't tasted that yet. And so, Darren, I would like you to roll me a persuasion with advantage, please. That was a well-handled interaction, especially with using the beer, Alex. I like that.
Thank you. I've got that drunk charm on me right now.
Probably. That's right. It'll be the 22.
22 with advantage. And so she's like, well, perhaps I can give it a chance. And, well, thank you for the chat, gentlemen. And she just kind of, like,
That's all we
walks
do.
off into the crowd to join the festivities, it looks like.
I turn around and slap Alex on the shoulder and say, wonderfully played, sir. And I hand him another beer.
Right when his, I take the beer, but then when he smacks me, I puke again.
Perfect. Alex throws up again.
I cast shield.
So you just see, like, vomit coming out of Alex's mouth and just stopping as if it just hit, like, a brick wall about 3 inches in front of Darren.
Well brought up, friend. And then we continue.
And then let's go to David, who wanted to investigate the petting zoo.
Yes, absolutely. I am looking for something specifically.
What are you looking for?
Oh, no.
Could I roll for it first, and if it's a good roll, tell you what I find?
Jesus.
Okay.
Sure.
The most attractive sheep.
There it is.
Oh, my God. A nat 20.
Amazing, David.
You find an
Yes.
ancient black dragon. That's your best friend.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for.
What were you looking for, David?
I want to see if there's a black goat, like a metal-looking goat.
Yeah, absolutely. With a nat 20 for investigation, you absolutely... Let's say you find, like, a little black goat that is seeming to be, like, a big pest to all the other little baby goats. He's doing, like, backflips and jumping off the other goats and kicking them in the face and just all around making trouble for the other baby goats, it seems.
Do I see like the owner or the caretaker or whoever's in charge of these?
No, it just seems to be like a pen with a lot of animals contained and kids running around petting them.
I'm just going to walk in there and pick up the goat and walk away with them. You are now mine.
You're my friend now. We're having tacos.
You know what? Yeah, all right. You just pick up a goat and walk out with it. You get a couple weird looks from the kids, but the parents aren't really paying attention. They just seem to drop their kids in there, and then they're having some beers. So you get a couple odd looks from the kids as you walk out, but now you have a small, black, baby, troublesome goat under your arm.
Yes. Yes, I give him little head scratches.
Nice. What is his name?
Ooh. Let's see here. I'm going to call him Ramos.
Ramos?
Oh, Ramos.
I like it. All right. Is there anything you're hoping to do with this goat in particular?
I just want to keep him with me. I just want a pet goat.
Fair enough. I like that. Okay, I'm just actually looking up a goat stat sheet for D&D here. Hey, a goat.
Yeah, kind of a
goat stat sheet.
It does. Goat, medium beast, unaligned, armor class 10, hit points 4.
Okay. Ooh, weak goat.
I like that.
Melee attack plus 3 to hit, and does a 1d4 plus 1 bludgeoning damage. So it's basically the head butt.
Sick.
But you can add an extra 1d4 if the goat travels 20 feet straight towards the target before hitting them, and it gets a charge effect.
Ooh.
Oh,
Running
cool.
start there, yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, and it's got
I mean, goats flying out of trees at every encounter we come at.
and it has advantage on strength and dexterity saving throws made against effects that would knock it prone. Because it's a goat, it's good at standing up. So there you go. You got yourself a little baby goat named Ramos.
Yes, everyone else had a pet. I wanted a pet.
Yeah, not bad.
Nice. I like it. I like it. All right. So as the day goes on, Darren, you actually managed to.
We're in the middle of it. I just got day drunk?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not stopping there, man.
And so, Darren, as the day goes on, you see and run into your beloved Valentina.
Baby girl, how you doing? Like, get your number. Say it like that.
Is that what she's like? I'm okay. Goudreau got.
No, you more than okay, girl. You fine.
Thank you. I am fine. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. And well, Goudreau was able to portal me here after I got your letter, so I thought I'd come join you for the festival.
Damn, girl, you shit with that ass.
Stuff. Look at them legs go all the way up, making an ass out of themselves.
All right, moving on.
but dear Valentina, may I get you a drink or a water or anything?
I would love that. Yes, please. I'll take one of the beers.
And I hand her a beer, and then I also hand Alex a beer. I picture him as like a fucked up Danny DeVito in
It's always sunny.
It's very important to know that I'm not wearing a shirt right now.
I don't doubt it, Alex.
Usually I am, but not in this. Yeah.
Karate gi, wide open, untied.
Usually you're just not wearing pants.
Yeah.
And so as this is happening, you see that people are kind of getting set up along large, long tables, and it seems dinner is about to be served. And you see Friar Farnsworth at the head of one of these tables, kind of beckoning all four of you, I guess, over to sit down and join him.
We go.
Does anybody have like a potion of healing or restoration so Alex can stop being drunk?
I'm not going to give it to
I have
him.
a potion right here, and I hand him another beer.
Yeah. And I chug it, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, boys.
I have brewer supplies and like a drum. Can I try fashioning a beer bong out of it?
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
Sure, make
Alex hit camping drunk stage where you've been drinking for so long you get sober again.
David, make me a what would we call that? A performance check, I guess.
I'm going to perform the shit out of it.
Believe it.
21.
Yeah, he's
So yes, you managed to fashion a primitive beer bong, so Alex can now imbibe his beer much faster.
We should also... This probably doesn't exist here, Notaeb. We should maybe patent this and sell them.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We could. Absolutely. I bet it would sell real good tonight.
Yeah, absolutely that would sell good tonight.
But I have
One
no need for
shilling
money anymore.
For a beer bong. That's true. You can't handle the money because it just disappears.
And so Friar Farnsworth says,
Gentlemen, please come join me over here at the table before dinner.
Yep,
Join
we
him.
good.
All
Go sit
right.
down. Yep.
I bring my goat with me.
So you
Come on, little Ramos.
So you all sit down at the head of the table, and everybody kind of quiets down, and Friar Farnsworth stands up and kind of does the ding, ding, ding on his cup, and he's like,
Thank you, everyone, for being here for this monumental occasion, this harvest festival that hopefully will bring both sides of the town back together. But, of course, as is tradition, anyone attending their first harvest festival must stand and tell a story about their lives. And he looks at all three of you.
Oh no.
yeah, role-playing, bitch.
Yeah.
I lean over and be like, well, good thing we've been on quite a lot of adventures, eh, my friends? And I hand out.
Yeah. And I pop it open. I'm not drunk anymore at this point. I'm just like sipping. I'm actually so upset that I sobered up. This would have been fun. But no. Yeah.
If only there was some type of contraption that could make you drink more fast.
Oh. No, I'll play this one straight. I'm just going to stand. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll stand up. I'll hold the beer. We go, I know that my name is Sir Alex of Kerrigan, but I'll be honest with you. My memory for the last couple of days is a little foggy right now. This is a really, really nice product. And I take another sip of the beer and I go, what the hell am I doing here? I was brought here against my will. I don't belong here.
Oh, no,
I'm a radio broadcaster.
Oh, no, he's fine. Alex, you're fine. Everything's fine. You're okay, man. You're okay. We got you. You're all right.
Yeah.
You're safe.
I have a
Does anybody have a fuzzy wall? You're
I
here.
have a family.
I need a weighted blanket from somebody.
And I just sit back down, and I look really, like, distraught. And out of, like, absolutely nowhere, and you can't see who says it, but just from the background, you hear somebody go, boo, that was a terrible story.
That's it. I'm done. Yep.
Just an existential crisis.
I stood up, had an existential crisis, and sat back down. That's it.
Friar Farnsworth says,
well, thank you, Sir Alex. That was very enlightening. Anyways, Darius, a story from you?
Oh, a story for me. Well, when I was a younger man, I was learning this new technique called, from my lands, snowboarding. And it's where you stand on a flat plank and you ride it down a mountain at intense speeds. And it was the first time I'd ever ridden such an object in my life. One of my first adventures, I dare say. And I carved a little too hard and knocked myself out cold on the mountain. When I came to in the infirmary, one of my friends at the time convinced me I worked at a place called Burger King, which I, in fact, did not work at. And I was convinced for about 25 to 30 minutes that I worked the fryer at Burger King until I remembered I was a plumber.
So as you're describing snowboarding in detail, you guys see three teenage boys' eyes just get absolutely massive, and then they kind of get up and run away into town as if they had just had a great idea.
Yes, tally-ho, boys, tally-ho.
He's like, well, thank you, Darius. That was, well, a much more coherent story than Sir Alex's.
And as I was sitting down, I go, oh, and once when I was very ill at work, I shit my pants. All right, and I sit down.
Thank you.
Start off strong.
And I'm Divad. So regale us with a story of your life.
All right, so I stand up, I pull my guitar in front of me,
Of course.
and I start singing the entirety of that Tenacious D song where he explains his life at the beginning of
Kickapoo.
Destiny.
Kickapoo.
A long
Yeah.
ass fucking time ago in a town called
Kickapoo,
Kickapoo.
had a medicine hat.
There lived
And I
a
just sing that
humble
song,
family.
but my life.
Okay, I like that. Make me a performance check.
That's a 19.
All right, well, that's not
Yeah.
bad. And so...
As if Dio was
after
there
you-
next to you singing alongside. Yeah.
So
The spirit of Dio.
as you finish your performance, Friar Farnsworth says,
Well, thank you very much, Divad. That was wonderful. And, well, on that note, I think it's time for your real performance. So why don't you head on up to the stage and you gentlemen can get ready as we clean up after dinner.
and yes, Divad, it is your time to shine.
It is upon us.
Right. I don't stand up right away. I'm still kind of staring at my beer.
Getting very sullen and...
Yeah, I'm getting sad drunk is what I'm doing.
So, what...
You'll be fine.
So, obviously, Divad, you're going to be performing, but Alex and Darren, is there anything you can do to kind of help him with the performance?
I guess I could. I guess I could shoot my gun at random intervals for kind of a drum effect. Let's see, what else can I do?
I have, if I don't cast it as an attack, can Fireball, I'm trying again, take two. If I cast that not as an attack, can Fireball and Lightning just be like a tertiary effect?
Yeah, I guess you could just kind of fire it into the air kind of thing.
I would also like to, there's a couple of things, so I'm going to use those. I'm going to use the spell Daylight, which casts a little orb that I want to use as a spotlight for him.
Nice.
And then I also want to cast the spell Tensor's Floating Disc, which creates a circular horizontal plane of force 3 feet in diameter, 1 inch thick, that can fly off the ground and hold up to 500 pounds.
Okay, so you want to put him on an elevated platform, basically.
I want David on a floating stage that can move around over top of the crowd while he's playing.
Sweet. And
yeah, I did some rearranging during our long rest for my spells.
And with Alex shooting his gun randomly into the air, I can't see any way that could possibly go wrong.
After 36 Unity beers, Pabst Blue Ribbons.
I'm not even standing up. I'm just like laying on the ground, like shooting it straight up.
Alex,
shirt open, fucking fire.
Alex is home.
I know what he needs. We need to order some 2 a.m. Pizza 73.
Oh, 2 for 1, baby. Get them curly fries. Oh, my God.
That'll lift his spirits.
Alex, your relationship with your gun, you're just holding the hammer and all you see is nails. All right, well, I like that idea. And so, David, where, like, on stage do you want to start? Like, how do you want to come out to begin their performance?
Is there like curtains in front, or is there like a dropout behind or something?
Well, I would say, yeah, it's kind of like arranged like a typical theater stage. So it's like you've got curtains behind the stage, but you also have a main curtain that you can close and open to, reveal the rest of the stage.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna do
Divad.
Yes.
Do you want an intro, or do you want to just come out?
I kind of want to kick it old school metalcore and kind of like, with my thaumaturgy, kind of like boom a sound as if it was, kind of like you're going to like an old like Asking Alexandria concert where it's like quotes from movies with like guitar tones behind it, and it slowly ramps up to a breakdown of me coming out on stage.
Love it.
Nice. I like that.
Just like some Anchorman quotes or some shit.
Dude, I was thinking Anchorman quotes. That's crazy, actually.
That escalated quickly.
I had ribs for lunch just up on the screen.
Brick killed a guy.
Where'd you get a hand grenade?
All right, well.
Milk was a bad decision.
It's so hot. They killed Baxter! They killed Baxter!
The bad potted Baxter.
All right, well then, gentlemen, I guess we can go for it. David, I would like you to roll me a performance check with advantage. Well, you can use your guitar pick as well, and I believe you can also
100%.
give yourself bardic advantage or bardic inspiration. So,
No, that says other than me. I can't inspire myself, unfortunately.
Okay. Well then,
You need more narcissism to be able to do that.
yeah, you're not that high level bard yet.
I'm my own muse.
All right, roll me some performance checks with advantage.
All right. I'm going to say the song I'm playing. Obviously, we can't play it, but check it out, people. Meridian, August Burns Red. That's what's playing through my head right now as I'm like kind of floating on the stage coming out. The little intro to it. So good. I don't even need a roll again. Jesus. That's a nat 20.
Oh my God, he did it again.
Born for this.
What the fuck?
I didn't even use my D6 extra. That was just a nat 20, boys.
That was a straight no advantage nat 20.
That was a no-look shot right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, all right. So then David explained to us, just kind of runs through this performance with all the accoutrements going on in the background. The stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
So I'm, Darren, are you kind of like moving my stage like around, or am I just like floating up, kind of like
Let's just
central
say that
point.
because we've known each other for so long and have watched so many live music DVDs and talked music so much that just our friendship bond, I know exactly where you want that disc, when you want lightning, when you want fire. You steer the ship. It's all happening.
Is happening. All right. And, kind of like in concerts, sometimes they'll do like a little interlude and they'll like talk to the crowd a little bit. I'm going to do that as like, kind of a pre-breakdown, like everything kind of gets a little quiet. I'm going to tell people, I'm like, this is how you fucking mosh pit. And I start explaining how it works.
Nice.
Because I want them to fucking do it. It's going to happen.
All right. Well, I mean, with your Nat 20, I'll say, like, after you explain it, you see, like, the light bulbs going off in people's eyes, and they start to, really get into it. And it's not the most violent mosh pit you've ever seen, but it's better than what was happening before.
It's time to kick some dicks for unity.
And, Alex, I would like you to make me a dexterity check, please.
Okay, dexterity. There it is. So yeah, just to set the stage here, I'm still laying on the ground, just shooting my gun, like, essentially as a kick drum. And it's going to go kind of well.
17. All right, not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you manage to pull the trigger when you mean to, rather than when it's pointing directly into the crowd. So everything goes well-ish for Mr. Alex, who is currently just firing his gun in tandem with the performance.
Do you guys want to...
While this breakdown's happening in the mosh pit, I point at Alex and I tell him,
you need to get in this pit too.
Okay. And I put my gun down and I go and enjoy the pit.
Nice. I like that. And so as this performance is going on, David, with your Nat 20, it is once again another spectacular performance from Divad Notaeb, whose fame and reach of his name will now be farther and farther in this realm. As this performance is happening, you all start to feel the ground shake and quake, and everybody looks over and you notice the dry riverbed kind of splits apart and falls into what looks like a giant sinkhole. And after the performance finishes, Friar Farnsworth comes up to you and he's like, "Gentlemen, I think it worked. I think we unified the town, and for all I believe, that's the entrance to the cave of the Harvest Mark just opened up." And find out what mysteries lurk within that cave on the next episode of Dungeons, Dudes, and Dragons episode.
Dungeons, Dudes, and Dragons is David Beaton, the Tiefling Bard, Alex Kerrigan, the Half-Elf Fighter, myself, Darren Warts, the Aasimar Wizard, and our Dungeon Master, David Ashbaugh. We're an independent podcast that relies on you, the listener, to spread the word. If you enjoyed listening, please give us a follow on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok at Dungeons, Dudes, Dragons, or contact the show directly by emailing us at dungeonsdudesdragons@gmail.com. But more importantly, tell your friends, your coworkers, even your pets to give us a listen. If you'd like to be featured as an NPC, or if you have homebrew items that you'd like to see featured in the show, tag us at Dungeons, Dudes, Dragons on social media. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Dungeons, Dudes, and Dragons.
Episode, bro.
love the ending.
Yeah, that was great. Honestly, a Nat 20 first roll to performance.
Goddamn.
Get the fuck out of town.
I can't fucking believe that happened again.
That's 2 nat 20s
just
for him
ground
when it
level.
mattered this episode. Yeah, that was good.
He's had precisely 2 stage performances, and he has rolled a nat 20 on both of them.
Hello, brave adventurers. It's Dorinius Wartinius, here to inform the peasants that we have a Patreon that would be lovely for you to support. There's a free tier, which gives you every episode of the Dungeons, Dudes, and Dragons podcast, as well as special behind-the-scenes views and our Game Master David's notes, so you can view just how off course we took everything. But if you feel the urge to dole out a few shekels and gold pieces to the team, know that you can enjoy special bonus content, like bonus episodes, podcasts, wrap-ups, commentaries, and even a special side campaign that I, Dorinius Wartinius, am currently working on in the world of Lord of the Rings. While you don't have to support us monetarily, every gold shilling will go back into the show so that we can continue to create Dungeons & Dragons audio adventures to the best of our ability. So please, sign up for our Patreon, Dungeons, Dudes, and Dragons, because any support will go a long way, and maybe one day we'll get that merch store up and running, if I can figure out how to do that. Tally ho!